In today's Daily Cyber, what I'm going to be talking about is the top areas of insecurity that you should be looking at. So let's hack at it. So let's talk about 2019, some security things that people should be looking at. So first and foremost, you know, where do I come from that to say this? Through my day to day, I'm in meetings, meeting with companies of all different sizes, from small, SMB companies to enterprise environment companies, and listening to the security challenges, the concerns, the questions that come up, and just the solutions and technologies that looking at on that side, and then hearing the partners that I work with, what they're working at. So think of it as you draw a circle here, you draw a circle here, and there's this little circle that's in between that there's an overlap, right? So this is the conversation that a lot of companies need to start looking at. If you're not looking at it now, or you are into your roadmap, I applaud you, but these are the areas that I would recommend you look at if you're not looking at them already. So IAM, identity access management. Identity access management is really changing on how it's being implemented, how the new technologies are coming out, passwordless authentication using biometrics, face scanning, um, fingerprinting, things like that, to authenticate someone into the network, into an application, into a web portal is the next generation. And what they're looking at is it takes away from having a password, something all right, or something you have in the sense of you have it written out, or you have some 22 character password that you have stored somewhere, like in key storage or a secure location. Next is privileged access management. So privileged access management, if you don't know, is PAM in short terms, and this really comes down to escalated privileges that give a user access to do administrative tasks, install, remove applications, make changes to software, code, whatever that may be. But these are privileges that people have at a higher level, especially when it comes to the technical team. So it's IT support, network administrators, database developers, programmers, anything along that line who need escalated privileges to do a certain task. So this is important to be able to monitor because I'm sure you've heard about this, but this example is when a contractor comes in, they need escalated privileges, they get it assigned to their account, and all of a sudden they're gone. Right? Their contract might have completed, they've moved on, but no one's auditing the accounts that have these privileges to make sure they're disabled properly, make sure that people can't access it, make sure even the password's changed, like all these things to make sure that account is locked down. So what's happening is these accounts now are potentially can be, a vulnerability and be breached. So that's why privilege access management is very important. Next is cloud security. More and more companies are migrating over to the cloud, uh, from simple email solutions. They're going into Gmail, Office 365. Just a side note, I'm finding right now, and if you can find a solution for Gmail, let me know. But I'm finding more and more now that Microsoft is doing a great job when it comes to email encryption and protection. Google has not jumped on the bandwagon yet. I talked to the support a couple of days ago, actually last week, and they really don't have, an encryption for G Suite and the kind of the company-based email. So now what I'm finding is that more and more companies are moving over to Office 365 when it comes to their cloud security and email encryption. So something to think about as you're looking at migrating to the cloud. You got cloud email, you got cloud applications, you've got um, storage, right? And you can go through all the IaaS and SaaS and all these platform as a service and all those different areas of cloud. But what it comes down to is, are you securing them? I know right now there's CASB, which is Cloud Access Security Broker, one of the ways to secure your cloud storage. But you still have to think about this, and I want to keep this in mind. I'm hearing this more and more that people are saying, "Oh, the cloud provider, has security." I'm telling you right now, they probably do, and it's probably very good level of security. But they might not be looking at securing your data, your application, your platform itself, and everything you're setting up in your configuration. They're looking at securing their side of the fence, right? Their devices, their infrastructure, their building, right? Their cluster, like all that. But when it comes to your data, your application, your platform, I'm not going to say all the time, but majority of the times I'm hearing it right now, it comes back down to the responsibility of the company and how they protect it. So please, please, please read your contracts, understand them, and protect yourself, right? You don't want to get compromised because you assume that the cloud provider is providing security. And then next is mobile endpoint security. So we have endpoint security. More and more people know about it. Protecting laptops, desktops, other different endpoints. But when it comes to mobile endpoint security, you're looking at smart devices, tablets, and more. Employees, users of the company, are using their smart devices on the network. And what you're finding right now is there's a way to do inventory control, looking at what's the version, has it been updated, but then you also have to look at malware, antivirus. You have to look at if it's been jailbroken, so if there's been changes. Are all the applications on that device been updated so they're completely secure? There's no vulnerabilities. Is there a whitelist, a blacklist? Right? What's acceptable application, what are not? So all these things are things that you look at, like mobile endpoint security and how to protect the devices. Now, this is a very in-depth conversation to have with the company, and sometimes they have specific strategies and responsibilities, and depending on the size of the company, they might not want to take on certain responsibilities just because they know they'll need resources and time and money to be able to do that. So just something to think about. And these are the areas, again, IAM, Identity Access Management, PAM, Privilege Access Management, Cloud Security, and Mobile Endpoint Security, are all areas that you should really take a look at in 2019. If you don't have it on your roadmap and you're not looking at them, please, please, please take a look at them. Start investing some time to look at how they can be implemented into your environment, because as I say at the end, software is hackable, being connected is vulnerable. You need to look at protecting yourself, because it's not if you're going to be hacked, it's when, and you want to make sure that you're doing your best to have these security systems in place to make sure that you make it harder and harder for people to breach into your network, into your environment. So that's it for today's video. I'm going to leave it at that. So don't forget, software is hackable, being connected is vulnerable. I'll see you next video.